It's the kind of news that makes the world stop. Phones down, voices hush, eyes glued to the screen. Because it doesn't matter when you live, no matter your religion or belief. A pope dying? That hits different. Pope Francis, the first Latin American pontiff in history, has died at the age of 88, and with that ends a papacy that shook the very structure of the Catholic Church. He passed away early this morning at 7:35 a.m. in his residence at Domus Sanctae Marthae, inside the Vatican. And while the official cause of death wasn't disclosed immediately, we already knew something wasn't right. He had been hospitalized for over a month, dealing with severe respiratory infections, including bilateral pneumonia that left him weak, tired, and barely able to speak. Now, here's where things get heavy. Despite the world watching, despite millions of Catholics praying for a miracle, the Vatican kept it quiet. No press conferences, no urgent updates, just silence. Until this morning. But Pope Francis? He wasn't like the others. And even in death, he proved that again. He made it very clear. No extravagant papal funeral, no multi-layered golden coffin, no pomp, no show. He didn't want to be buried inside the Vatican grottos like popes before him. He asked to be buried in Santa Maria Maggiore, one of the oldest churches in Rome. A final act of humility from the Pope who always chose simplicity over spectacle. The funeral will follow his wishes. No lavish ceremony, no centuries-old rituals. Just silence, prayer, and farewells. And maybe that's what makes this hit so hard. Because Francis didn't just lead the church, he tried to transform it. Let's rewind. Before the white robe, before the balcony in 2013, he was Jorge Mario Bergoglio, from Buenos Aires, a Jesuit, a man who cooked his own food, took the bus, lived in a small apartment. And when he became pope, he didn't change. He chose a simple cross, rejected the papal palace, and preached something few leaders dare to: mercy, humility, inclusion. He spoke out for the poor, for refugees, for climate action, for LGBTQ people inside a church that had mostly turned its back on them. He said atheists could go to heaven. He washed the feet of prisoners, including women and Muslims, and he called out corruption inside the Vatican itself. Was he controversial? Absolutely. Was he loved? Deeply. But not by everyone. His critics said he was too progressive, too lenient, too disruptive. But maybe that's exactly what he was supposed to be. Now the world is entering a new chapter. Sede vacante. The Pope is gone. The seat of St. Peter is empty. And soon, the cardinals will enter the conclave. Locked behind the doors of the Sistine Chapel, praying, debating, voting, until white smoke rises again, and a new pope emerges. But let's be honest, who could possibly fill the shoes of Francis? Not just a spiritual leader, but a global symbol of conscience, of kindness, of change. So here's the question. Will the next pope continue his path? Or erase his legacy? Will the church move forward or snap back? Only time will tell. But one thing's certain. Francis didn't just lead a religion. He led a movement of compassion, a movement of reform, a movement that may have just lost its heart. What did Pope Francis mean to you? Were you inspired by his words or skeptical of his changes? Tell us in the comments. And subscribe for more real stories, raw emotion, and everything that shakes the world from the inside out. This isn't just history. This is the turning of an era.